Hello, everyone. We're so excited that you're here to join us today for our next session on DD2 Live PD, Live Professional Development for you. Today we have Microsoft Forms Basics using a form. You'll notice that in today's session that we do have a little bit of longer hours today. We were doing 3 to 3:30. Our feedback came back if we could just make it a little bit longer. So we'll go to approximately 3:45 today, and that will give us 15 minutes afterward for some questions. What that also means for you is you get extra PD credit. So everyone joining us today will get 1 hour of technology and renewal credit. Nothing that you need to do. Just by signing in today, you are able to get the credit that you need. So none of those steps have to take place. Just so that you know, we are giving away a prize today. So that you're aware, some lucky winner will get a $10 gift certificate to Amazon. Every time we do one of our DD2 live online PD sessions, we give away a $10 gift card. And if you attend a session every day this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, your name goes in a drawing for a $25 gift card for Amazon. And this week it was Erica Trevino from Joe Pye Elementary School. She was our $25 gift card winner. So you'll be receiving that. But of course, everyone's a winner because you're going to get some great PD today with Marie Connolly. She'll be showing you how to use Microsoft Forms. It doesn't matter, you're a classroom teacher, you're an administrator, office staff, really anyone could benefit from utilizing Microsoft Forms. And later this week, we'll be getting started and kicking off Microsoft Teams, trending very popular right now. So moving forward, we're ready to get started. Again, introducing our featured presenter, Marie Connolly with Microsoft Forms. Whenever you're ready.
Thanks, y'all. I am looking forward to this. I hope that you will enjoy Forms as much as I do. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we can access Office 365 because this is where we will find forms. So if you go to your Office 365 account, you will see the Forms app and you can select that to start your new form. Now, there are quizzes, but we'll talk about that in another session. So today we're really just going to focus on creating a form. This is something to help you gain access or information from parents, students, other teachers. And so I just want to take a moment to go over some of the forms that I have used, that other ITS have used as well, just to kind of give you some ideas of maybe ways that you can use a new form. So here I've used it to gather information about when we're going to have veterans come for a Veterans Day celebration. We use this as an RSVP. I shared it with parents. They filled out their information. There's homeroom teacher and how many guests they were planning on having join us for that day. On this form, we have the letter of intent. So now that we're moving to everything at the end of the year being digital, we're looking at turning in some of those forms that we send home to parents into digital forms. Another one is ways that students can turn in their learning from the weeks that we've been working on. So here we have a form where you can upload files. This form is one that I've used for my students to select their half-day club choices. We use this across the school, and it allows them to pick out their first, second, and third choices for the clubs that they would like to do on our half-days. Here we have our staffing preference form. So really just trying to take everything from paper and turning it digital. You have a retention form. Thanks to Melissa Mitchum for creating that one. Here we have an end of the year checkout process from Jen Sauer that they use over at Rawlings. And then so it's just kind of a basic overview of the various forms that you can make. Again, it can be as complicated or as simple as you need it to be. I know that there have been forms that teachers create just to get to know students at the beginning of the year, or to get to have that important parent information, maybe their transportation home at the beginning of the year. So really just, if it's on paper, if it can be easily filled out, then let's make it digital. Save some trees. So each form has various types of questions that you can create. So some of the questions that you can have are multiple choice questions, long or short answer text responses, a rating scale, inputs of dates. So when you get a little calendar pop up for that one to put the date in, ranking questions, a Likert scale. There's that file upload that you can use. And then we even have a net promoter score. So lots of options for questions and many choices there, just depending on your need. Each form comes with a response section so that you can preview responses. So I'm going to go to one form just that has some responses. This is the 3rd grade half-day club choice. When you look at responses, you can get some quick bar graphs, just a quick preview of information. You can drill down, and we'll kind of go into that at a later point. But just a quick overview here, and all responses can be opened in an Excel document. So if you want to take and sort that information, it's easily viewable in an Excel document. For example, here's the responses of that form. Maybe I want to sort by class. And so here I can quickly kind of begin to analyze the data from my form. One of the things I like is that it'll give me a start time and a completion time, so I know how long it took students to do it. If it is an in-network form, so if it's within a Dorchester 2 login or username through Office 365, you will get their email address and their name, or in students' cases, their username and their non-username, their regular name, but I block that out just for confidentiality. So now that we just kind of have a quick look at forms, let's go into creating a form. So I went into Office 365, I selected forms, and now I want to create a new form. So I'm going to select new form. Now, what I do want to do is consider my audience. If the audience is within our network, if they have an @Dorchester 2 account, then there's some information that will be collected automatically, like their computer username, or can be collected automatically, like their name and their computer username. If it is not in network, then those are some questions that I'm going to want to ask. So for this particular form, I was just thinking about the end of the year. I want to do a distance learning check-in. So right here is the title of my form. So here I would title it Distance Learning Check-in. And I might give it a week range, such as this week. I want to see how my students are doing this week. And now I have my title created. I have a little bit of a subtitle. I can even add a fun image. Since we're doing everything online, let's find a computer. And you will notice one of the things I love about this is that it searches within Creative Commons, so you don't have to worry about copyright issues there. So that's nice. You select your image and you select add. And now the image is there with your form. So now I am ready for my first question. I have some questions that are based on how students are feeling and how they've done with their work, and then I'll have a section for students to upload their work. So what I want to do now is create my first section. So I'm going to click the plus button and go over down to where I see section. And here's where I want to title my section. Let's just see how my students are feeling overall. And so now I have my section title. Again, you can add another image or a subtitle. I don't feel the need for that, so I'm not going to do that. I am ready for my first question. So now I'm going to select Add New. And I want this question to be a rating question. So I'm going to have them rate how they feel about this week's assignments overall. So I'm going to select rating. In rating, you have the option of up to 10 symbols. You can use stars or numbers. So here I would like to use stars, and I'm going to leave it at 5. And I want my students to rate how are they feeling about this week's assignments. And then I would like to give them a little bit more information. So I'm going to add a subtitle right here. I want them to be able to tell me what the, I want to be able to tell them what 5 stars means versus 1 stars. So 1 star would equal not so great. And then 5 stars would equal really good. Okay, and this is something that I want students to answer. I don't want to make it an optional question, so I'm going to make it required. So I'm going to slide the little dot over and make it required. And now I'm ready for my next question. So this one, I would like for them to rank their assignments. So I'm clicked the plus button again. I'm looking for a ranking. Click the down arrow. Here is my ranking question. So now I would like for them to rank how their assignments went in terms of time. How much time did each assignment take? And then I'm going to give them just a little bit more information. And here we go. So I think I'm going to say rank your assignments. I think that might be a little bit more specific. There we go. And pardon my text there. All right. So now I have math. Then I have science, and of course you could get more specific here. Again, I'm kind of looking at it from a elementary perspective. If you were middle school or high school, maybe you would want to be specific with the science activities that you were doing or the math activities, but this is just for an example. So I have a rating scale. Now I have a ranking scale. This next one, I would like for students just to kind of give me a short response about how I can support them this week. So I'm going to click Add New, and this is going to be a text-based answer. And so, how can I support you this next week? Okay. Now, for this one, I have the opportunity to give them a long answer or a short answer response. I really just need a little bit of text here. I really don't want them to go into a very long kind of response. If you wanted students or parents to give you a large amount of information, then you would select long answer. Otherwise, a short answer is just fine. I don't need a subtitle for this one, so I'm going to take that away. Here you will see some restrictions, like the things that you're looking for here. I don't need any restrictions, so I'm going to take that off and just stick with a short answer response. Again, I want it required, so I'm going to leave that selected. Now I'd like to add a long answer response. So here I'm going to again select text. This will be a long answer response. And I would like for them to share something that went well for them this week. And I want them to make sure, just to remind them that they are sharing with me, so that it kind of helps them be a little specific about their response. You can ask You can insert various media to your responses, and that we'll touch on that a little bit more on the Forms Advanced class. So check that out. We'll go into some more of the details, like what the restriction part means. We'll look at branching. We'll look at adding that image. So today we're really just trying to focus on how to create a basic form and get your responses. This is the last text form that I want, so text-based. I am ready to move into a new section. So now I want for students to be able to upload their work. So I'm going to divide that up a little bit for myself. So I'm going to create a new section. Again, the little plus button, add a section, and then here is where they are going to upload their work from the week. Again, add new. Now this time I want to select a file upload question. This is a recent update for Excel and I absolutely love it. It will create a file space for the files that students upload to go to, and so you want to select OK. And now you have some choices here. So I want students to upload their math work. I'm going to give it a little bit of a subtitle. So they know what I am looking for. And I have some file limits that I can set. You can ask students to upload up to 10 files. So I'm going to give them as many as I possibly can. And then I'm going to allow the file size to be as large as it's possible as well, just in case they want to take pictures with their phone or video files. And so I'm going to make this required. You do have file types that you can specify. I want my students to be able to upload any file type so that they have some flexibility with what sorts of files they're adding. So I am good with my file type. Now, I want to duplicate this for their science activities. So instead of having to recreate this whole question and type in everything, I'm going to click the duplicate, the copy the question button. So here I am, I copied it. You'll notice I have number 5, math, and here I'm going to make this one science. And again, I can it's a lot faster now just to edit those other 2 pieces instead of having to go in and recreate everything. With these options, you also have the opportunity to delete a question or to reorganize questions. If you notice, this little arrow right here will move the question up. So maybe I want them to upload science first. Who knows? So that will allow you to move questions to different positions. I am satisfied with this form now. I really like the way it's looking. So I think I'm going to, here's the fun part. I'm going to play with the theme a little bit. The green is not really my style. Purple is my favorite color. So maybe I'll check out purple and you can see it changes the overall background. Maybe I want to have it a computer background. So if you click on theme, you have some things you can play with. You can even search and change the background. So here again, I've accessed the image search. So to get there, I clicked on my theme. So let's go back to that. So I clicked on theme. And then here are some generic choices, but I want to be a little more creative. So I'm going to customize my theme. And here I'm going to upload an image from the internet. And I like the computers, but maybe that's not really what I want to do. So let's just see if I can let's do some calm. And here we have a nice calming background. I want my students to feel excited. Plus, that's where I'd like to be right now, on the ocean. It does sometimes take a little while to upload just based off of bandwidth and whatever else is going on. You can customize a little further with colors, but not necessary. What they have is really pretty nice. Once I am satisfied with my questions, the way things look, I'm ready to share. Before I share, though, I want to go in and double check my settings. So I click on the 3 dots right here, and I'm going to select settings. Most of the time, the automatic settings are really very nice. Now, if you do want to send a form to somebody outside of the district, you will want to select anyone with this link can respond. However, for any form that has the file upload options, they do have to be within the network. So you'll see it says only people in the organization can respond to file upload forms. If it is something that maybe doesn't, that needs to be anonymous, I can opt to not record the name of the person responding. In this case, I do want to record the name because I want to know which students turned in files. And you can also limit one response per person. So for example, with the third grade half-day club choice form, I didn't want my third grade students to be able to go in multiple times to answer this form. So I limited it to one response per person. So they knew if they went in and tried to respond a second time and it told them you've already submitted your response, then they knew they didn't need to do it again. And that was very helpful for my classroom teachers because it helped us keep track of what was going on. You can set the start date and the end date of when you want questions or for the form to be open. So if you want to delay the opening of the form, you can do that. If you want to end the form, you can do that. For example, the RSVP form that we did, I wanted to close it at a certain time. I needed to be able to have that information so that we could make plans with our cafeteria. And so we had to be able to close that at a specific time in order to have that information. Down here, you can customize your thank you message if you want to. This is the generic one, but you can always say, add something a little cute and fun, and then change that if you choose. And here we have notifications. So do you want the respondents to receive an email receipt? This only works if they are within network. And since students don't have emails, it really doesn't apply to them. So this would be great if it's faculty or staff, and that way they have an email record of completing the form. And then here you have get email notification of each response. And so this is something you would click on if you want to receive an email saying somebody has responded to your form. Now, if you have a large number of people doing that, it might not be the best because your inbox will get flooded. But if it is a form that happens every now and then you would want to turn that on so that you were aware that somebody completed that form. If you are satisfied with your settings, then you are ready to share. The share button gives us lots of options for sharing. So here again, we have only people in my organization can respond. Yes, that's what I want. I can copy a link. I can copy a QR code. I can copy an embed code, and I can even email it directly to people. So I would like to take my link, and I'm going to use a link to copy. There are two other ways to share down here. Now, if it is a form, for example, that form that Melissa Mitchum sent us, the retention form, this was specific for her school. So I want to take it and make it specific to my school. In order for her to share that so that I could edit it, she had to give me a link to duplicate. So what that did was allow me to have a copy of the form, but it did not affect, and it will not affect, her form and her responses if I change anything. If you want to share and allow people to see the responses of forms, then you would get a link to collaborate. So this would allow others to see this would allow for you to share it with anybody who also needs to get the responses. So, for example, my RSVP form, I needed the cafeteria manager and my administrators to see that. So I shared the link with them to collaborate, and then they can go in and view the responses as we were receiving them. So now if you're ready to share this with students, you can copy this link, you can send it out to your Teams page, or you can email it to parents. One of the best things you could probably do with it is add it to Clever. That's where we want everybody to go to access. Really just a kind of our one-stop shop. So here we have Clever. I am accessing it as my school since I do not have a teacher account, but the process is still the same. If you saw Jennifer Sauer's Clever training, great training. If not, I would recommend going back to it and taking a look at it in our recorded meetings in the DD2 online PD platform. And she will go over very specifically how you can add links to your teacher page, or if you have the school admin page, how to do that. But essentially, it's the same. So you would go to your page and you would want to click Add Link. If it's a custom link, like our form is, you would create a custom link. And here you would give it your title. And then you can paste your link right here. And now I just want students to see it, so I'm going to just select students. I'm going to take teachers off. As a district level, you can select grades, or school level, you can select which grades have access to it. But if you are in a classroom, it will look a little bit different right here. And so as soon as I click Add Link, then and publish my changes, everyone in my school will now have access to that link through Clever. Now, I don't really want them to have that access because they're going to kind of wonder what's going on. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to customize that and edit it and remove it. But here you can see where I did that for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade half-day club choices. Those are links directly to the form. So when it was time for students to do that, they accessed their Clever page, they clicked on the link, and then they could complete the form. So it made it really easy for them to access those pieces. And yeah, I think that about covers it, and I would love to take questions if there are any.
Hey, Marie.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. This is Mark Meyer. I'm just going to go through some of the questions in the Q&A that have not yet been answered by our question and answer moderators. We have Brittany Wilson asked, could I still use Flubaroo to grade assignments when I used another platform? Classroom, I could just put these assignments into it and it would grade some of the assignments. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Flubaroo, if she can use that.
I am not familiar with Flubaroo. So I would have to kind of understand what it does for her in order for her to be able to answer that question. Now, you can use forms to have assignments. If you want it to grade an assignment, then you're going to want to look more at the quizzes side of forms. And so that's when I would suggest checking out that training, because the quizzes part does have automatic grading for you.
Okay, awesome. Another question we had was, would I be able to just post the link to the form I created on the post part of Teams for each of my classes? Or is there an easier or more effective way to integrate?
No, that's a great thing to do. In fact, anytime you post it in Teams, and I will show you here, I'm going to go to my training team. This is one of the positives of Team is anytime you post a link to a form, you'll notice that it actually creates this beautiful little icon right here. And so students can go in, and this is the fill links because it says fill, and they'll be able to click right on it and it opens right up for them to fill it in. So that is a wonderful way to share that link.
Great. So we had another question. Could this be used to gather information during online registration over the summer?
Absolutely. Now we do have, the district does have their online registration form. So we probably, just depending on what the information is, I would consider using what the just thinking about what the district's already asking for, and then seeing what may be needed in addition. And I hope that that made sense. Because really we don't want one of the benefits of the online registration process is that parents only have to fill in things once, and all of that information can be shared with the appropriate areas. If the Microsoft Forms form would be duplicating that information, I'm not, you'd really just kind of want to think that through and make sure that you're not asking for things that you already are receiving.
Absolutely. We had another question that says, does this work the same way when pushing out assignments in teams? Now, I think that we're going to cover that probably later on down the road, but I'll let you field it.
Yes, we will. You can, in fact, this is what's great about all of the Microsoft programs is they all interact with each other. They all work together. So if you've already created a form, going about it through this way, when you go into Teams, you can use all of your forms. When you go to create an assignment, and it will be touched on, but just when you go to create an assignment, it will you would do the quiz side of things, but you can see where it accesses all of the forms that you have under your username. So absolutely, if you want to go ahead and create the template and have things ready, and then when it comes to the Teams assignment training, you can jump right in using what you've already created.
Great. We had another teacher ask, I'd like to create forms to keep track of behavior data for myself. After creating the form, what's the easiest way to access the form each day? She says she tried it earlier this year, but because she was the owner of the form, she was seeing it as if she was going to edit it.
So so she wants to, okay, I think I understand now, wants to be able to fill it in. So when you are editing a form, so there's two ways you could do it. One, click on the preview button. So you've got your form pulled up where the edit looks. If you click on the preview button, you can complete that form and it will show up in your results. So I created this form, but if I go in and complete it, and I'm going to just answer these very quickly. Oh, all right. And so you'll see, just real quick, those sections, if you noticed, it put it on two different pages by doing two different sections. So here I'm just going to grab some random files. And obviously students would want to upload their work. And this will also show, I meant to show you all this, but this will let me show you how you can see the file results as well. So I'm submitting the form as me, and you can go in and submit it any other time. So I did that by clicking on the preview button. So again, here it is looking as the editor of the form, and then preview, I can submit it as a student of the form. So in this case, filling in the behavior information. And then now I can go, and y'all may have seen the little one button popped up. Here are my responses. And so I can view the results one by one. I did set it up so it got my name, so it has my name, shows how long it took me to complete it. I can delete that response. I can print this response. So each individual student, I can see their response, their rank, their answers here. And then with the file upload, I can access it just by clicking right on the link, and it'll go to that SharePoint file that it created to access that. So yeah, she can complete it like that, and then either check out the responses one by one or open that Excel spreadsheet to see the behavior overall.
Got it. Marie, can you show us the analytics, that Excel spreadsheet view, what that looks like?
The one that we just, in this one? Sure. So I clicked open in Excel, and this only has one response, so it's not not going to have a lot of detailed information. And so here, what I just completed, it gave me my start time, my completion time, my email, the name. Overall, how am I feeling? I ranked my assignment, so I get a look at that. This was my short answer. This is my long answer. And then here is the link to the folder. So if I want to check out what my student uploaded, I've got the link for the math lessons here, and I have the link for the science lessons here. So this was for that form that I just completed, but this is one that has a little bit more information. And so here, if you have lots of information, you can really have more to work with here. And so, and then this section really kind of breaking down this data would be an Excel training all on its own. But so if you're a spreadsheet junkie kind of like me, then this part's a lot of fun for you.
So we have two other questions that are kind of the same, and it has to do with word count limits. One teacher asked when creating a form, what's the character limit for titles? And another teacher asked for open questions, is there a word count limit for open questions?
I have seen the answer for that, but I do not know it off the top of my head. I can go in and I can find that, and then I can put that out there in the DD2 channel, that answer out there.
Awesome. I don't know if you showed this earlier, but a teacher also asked how they can avoid a student turning in the form more than once.
Yes, so that's in your settings feature. So the ellipses right here, and then click on settings. And then here you want to select one response per person. And now it will only allow that student, because they do have to log into their Office 365 account, that will only allow the student to do it once.
Great. We had another teacher ask an organization question. They wanted to know if there's a way to create files using the forms when you're creating for different classes to keep all the forms that you've created organized. What's the best way to keep all of your forms organized?
That's a great question. I do not have the answer for that because this is what mine look like right now. I do not know if there is a file system for that. And if anybody has that information, that would be wonderful, and please share. I will say, if you push the assignment out in Teams, it will organize it better for you that way, because then each form would be in its own class team. And so then you're looking at it through Teams instead of through this side of things.
Got it. We have another teacher asked, does it matter if we create a new form or a new quiz when they're starting a form? What's the difference?
Can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, sure. A teacher wanted to know if it mattered if they're creating a new form or a new quiz when they're starting a form. What's the difference between new form and new quiz?
Yes, it depends on your outcome. If you want a grade or points, if you want to see scores of students or respond, give them feedback, then you want to do a new quiz. If you are really just gathering information, then you want to do a new form. And they will, when you do the quiz training, it will show you in more detail about that. But let's just say I create a multiple choice. Here you can see where I have the ability to assign points. And I also have the ability to determine which one's the correct answer, or even give other information here. So really, what is the intent of your form? Do you need information, or do you want to provide students feedback and give grades?
Excuse me, Mark and Marie, I'm going to jump in here and just plug that we do have a Microsoft Teams live PD on May 7th. And that's going to be going over quizzes and assignments and things like that. So if you're interested in that, we're going to have those things coming up in the future.
Great. Marie, one of our school counselors says, I thought about using a form to keep a log of daily check-in with students, which would be great for teachers to use as well, so that you have data on services that she's offering throughout the year. Would a form be the best way to have that data for the end of the year, just filling out the form herself like you showed earlier?
Yes, I've seen forms used as a way to keep meeting notes. So that way you really have just one spot. So if you, for example, like SST meetings, if you're asking a lot of the same questions, then having a form for that allows you to see the responses over time. Getting that Excel spreadsheet is really nice because then you can see how your students are doing as they progress over time. And on top of that, you're getting that date and time stamp. So that's really nice. Like if you're having a phone conversation with a parent, create a form as a communication log, and then you can see the time that started and maybe even how long the conversation took. So there really is lots of options out there for that. If you needed to do it after the fact, then you could add that date question in there, and you can specify what date the conversation took place. You can always add a time question. So really, I mean, it's open-ended there, absolutely.
Awesome. We had another question about a resource for students, maybe a video or a tutorial for students that kind of shows them how to use forms. Do we have something like that available?
At this time, no, but it can easily be created. I would love to help out on that.
Awesome. Another teacher asked, deleting an old form. If you have, all of those forms and you don't need it anymore, how do you get rid of that?
Absolutely. Great question. I'm glad you asked that. So if I go back to all my forms, and now you can see the one that I created today, I don't want it. The 3 dots right here, the ellipses, if you select on those, I can copy it. So let's say it's something, all right, or delete it. So to answer your question, you just click the trash can. So for example, I don't need Rawlings form right here. So what I can do here, but I want to be able to make it, I'm sorry, bad example. Let me back up a little bit. Certified staffing preference. Next year, I'm going to need another one. So what I can do is copy it, and it will create a new one. You'll notice the little number here, and then I can change the dates, and this could be 2021 and 2022. I'll still be able to keep the information from my 2021 form, which is right here, and all the responses associated with that form, but now I have a new one for the next year. If I no longer need that form, again, I can go in and delete it.
Awesome. We have another question that says, if a quiz is used in Microsoft Teams, I'm not sure if this is more of a Teams question, you cannot use the feedback loop. Is that true? At least I haven't been able to, the teacher says. Maybe that's more of a Teams question.
The feedback is there. It's just a little hidden, and I think that during the Teams assignments training, we'll go into that a little bit more. So if I go to I'm going to use one of my staff trainings real quick. And I'll go to my flat panel. Here we go. So I gave them a quiz or a form, and you can see right here, here's the form. When I go to check on the feedback, instead of clicking feedback here, what you want to do, let's see if I can find, this one's turned in. is actually click on the turned in button, and here is where you would add feedback specifically to the student. And then when you turn it back in or return it to the student, they'll be able to click on this same sort of thing and access their feedback there. So that's where you would go to provide feedback through an assignment.
Great. We have one last question. The teacher asks, on a school-wide level, if I made a form for our student intent letters, is there a way for a parent to select a grade level from a pull-down menu? And once that grade level is selected, give them the homeroom options for that grade to choose from?
Absolutely. That person wants to attend the advanced forms training, because that would be done through branching. And it is a beautiful thing. So I highly recommend attending that training. I love branching.
That's an awesome plug for yet another live PD session to attend. So I'm not seeing any new questions in our Q&A. So Marie, thank you very much.
Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it.
Patrick, are you sharing anything in addition with us today?
I want to go ahead, and since we talked about the advanced features with Microsoft Forms, that one is currently scheduled for May 19th. We're going to be doing the advanced features, so we'll be talking about branching and things like that. And our next one up tomorrow is going to be on Microsoft Teams to personalize your settings. So if you're getting all those notifications and things that you want to change in Microsoft Teams, that's the event to attend tomorrow. I don't think I have anything else. I don't see any more questions coming in either.
I was wondering, since we do have a little bit more time left, Marie, and I'm going to give Mark a second to get ready to get back to Marie's screen if she hasn't gone anywhere. But this will be a little bonus tip. It's just a small little thing. But if they are in Microsoft Teams, I'd love for you to show them how they can do a quick poll in Microsoft Teams. I know we've got a little bit of extra time, so before we close out some of these small tips and tricks, Patrick, if you're thinking of a small tip or trick that you would like to share as well that has to do with forms, survey, polls, that sort of thing, feel free to share, and then we'll close out. Thanks, Marie.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. All right. So I went to the team that I want to share the form or the poll in, and I clicked in my channel. And if you notice the little extension button right here, the 3 dots, you have the forms extension. If you don't already have it, you can search for it. And if you click on forms, it will give you an opportunity to just really do a quick new poll today, or a quick poll. And it is just and add an option, and I'm really just making this up on the fly, y'all. So I'm not sure how the questions are, but they can select more than one, or I can leave it to just one and then click next. And now I can hit send, and here it will pop up in my channel. And so when people go to respond to this poll, they can easily click connect to Teams, submit their vote, and then you can see how the responses turn out right here. So far, 100% who have answered want me to show them how to connect to Teams. So real quick way just to kind of get super fast information, maybe, best time for a meeting, or if your staff's ordering lunch, the preferred place to order from. So just real fast way to gather that information.
Marie, before you take your screen away from there, can you do me a favor and go back to Microsoft Forms? I did notice one thing. I've noticed that when you're in a form and you want to go back and look at your list of forms, you keep going back to that Office homepage. But
Mhm.
actually, if you click the word forms next to the little waffle, it'll take you back to your list of Microsoft Forms. So
Oh,
if you
that's
open
so
one of those up, yeah, I used to
Beautiful
do
thing,
the
Mary.
same as you.
You know, it's the little things that make the biggest difference. Thanks.
Not a problem. That is
That's
definitely
beautiful.
something that saved me a lot of time.
Okay, well, if that's it for today, you did a great job. Want to again thank our featured presenter, Marie Connolly, for sharing Microsoft Forms. Again, just like they pointed out, there's another part to this. We're going to be getting to Microsoft quizzes, a little bit different for those of you who want to capture those grades. Maybe you want them to go directly into PowerSchool. Wouldn't that be awesome? So we'll be sharing that. But before we can even get into those parts and pieces, we need to start working in Microsoft Teams. So tomorrow, just like Patrick said, personalizing your settings. If you're tired of those pesky notifications popping up, 1,000 of those invites, chats, things like that, you need to figure out how to get your settings in place. So join us tomorrow from 3 to 4 so we can get all of those settings perfect for you. Then we'll move on to our next thing, which is setting up your classes, making sure everything is arranged just so. And then we're going to jump into Microsoft Teams so you can learn about virtual meetings, how to do assignments, how to really take advantage of all of the features that are available in Microsoft Teams. But before we let you go, just a reminder, there's nothing you need to do to get credit for today. You'll get 1 hour of technology and renewal credit. You will also get an opportunity to win a prize. So Mark, if you wouldn't mind showing the screen, and that'll be able to showcase our winner for today. Not sure if he's showing the screen or not. Hopefully that's maybe happening. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I need to do something. He's like, oh, it's not really working. Let me see.
Hey.
I'm going to do this. How about that?
There you go. That's what
Oh,
we needed.
perfect.
We needed
You're like,
you to share.
Shelley,
We needed you to
do
share.
Well, congratulations to Joshua. He's at Ashley Ridge High School. He won a $10 Amazon gift card today. Thank you for participating. We had a little over 400 participants today. So thank you for coming each day. Again, it's always on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, starting at 3 o'clock. Hope to see you again tomorrow.